y'all. Look who's back with us today. Calease Anderson. It's been a few months, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we back, man.
We back for real.
Back and better.
last time when Calease was on the channel, we were talking about how one of the segments was authenticity matters, and go check out the short for that one as well. We also made a full video on that where your mind moves your energy, and it was a great topic that we talked about a couple months ago.
It was pretty dope.
But why don't you tell the people what we're going to be talking about today?
All right. So first and foremost, before this video start, I just want to clarify. Like honestly, I speak with intention. So when I speak with intention, it's just simply mean I'm speaking to motivate and empower people. I'm not speaking to change anyone's thoughts or religions or anything they have been practicing for years. That is on you to decide and discern what do you want to do with that information. I'm just spreading the awareness and bringing attention to it. So, just view it as much as you can. Do some study and research. Pull something out of it. It's really important. Be open-minded and always willing to learn. That's just my message out of everything before I spread my message. Because the topics are very complex. They can be deep, but they are also meaningful and important in this world, and we try to avoid them. And the avoidance is only more effective when we try to avoid them, because we cannot run from our problems simply as much as we try as humans, and we all do it. But I can admit, me, myself, and I, things did not work out the best as much as I wanted them to work out because I avoided. So, attacking those things with the utmost confidence is very important, and knowledge, and discernment and awareness. So that is why we're simply here today. Now, speaking on that behalf, we are focusing on mental health awareness today. We are also focusing on the 100% theory, and we're going to get a little deeper into that quotation around what we're talking about with the 100% theory of life. And third, lastly, we will be ending with programming humanity. So I'll say this. Programming, I feel like it's a systematic way to say we humanize and dehumanize things a lot, but simply we dehumanize more than humanize in this world. And we all are human, so we should all understand we do face the same theories in life. We do face life just as much as everyone else because we are on this earth. So as long as we are on this earth, we will be facing everything that comes with this life of earth. And it's very prosperous. It's very challenging. It can be a lot of conviction, confliction. It can be a lot of things mixed in one. And all of those things I feel like are emotions that we all face and we go through, and it's just how to navigate around those and spread awareness of the things that we misconcept in this life. So just comprehending those things as humans and understanding what we really feel, truly feel, not what someone else feels for us, is very important because we are human. And regardless of what someone else may feel of you or how they may perceive you, you are you at the end of the day. And I will hold this to you to have the utmost confidence for yourself, for your body, for your health, for your mental, physicality, emotional. Everything is very important, and I just really want you to feed the best positive energy that you can to those areas of yourself as a humankind. But yeah, that's really everything we're going to be talking about. I try to sum it up in a way, but I'm really just not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to speak with the intention, like I said, and whoever takes it how they take it and run with it, take it and leave it. That's how I see it.
That's a good motto. Take it and leave it.
Yeah, take it or leave it.
Yeah, everyone.
It's on the table. It's gonna be on YouTube or on social medias, but you will decide what to do with that information. I can't decide for you. I learned some of these things through experiences, but I'm not gonna exclude everyone's experiences as well, and I'm not gonna ever speak for anybody's experiences. When I speak, it's through my experience of attention. It's through my experience as myself and who I am, and that's just that. I'm not going to speak for anyone else out there. I'm going to speak for me. But if anyone are willing to speak with me, I am willing to open that room and be open-minded when they do speak. And just listen simply. Not to judge, not to criticize, just listen. Because we tend to criticize each other instead of uplift is the word I'll use. But let's really get into it, honestly.
Let's get into it, y'all.
And the shadows grew long at the end of the day. To the book. I was looking for signs in the cracks of the storm. Oh, measuring in mercy by the weight of my fears. Studying mercy, but the silence broke open. And I wasn't alone. Yeah. The word was a promise that.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh.
So just to start it off, as we refer back to mental health awareness, I want to ask you, honestly,
right.
I know you're interviewing me, but I just want to get us engaged in this one, so that people can actually see and feel what we're actually talking about. And even if they can't relate, they can still listen in a way to where they're not lost or feel like they're being misled. But honestly, do you think we put enough into our mental as far as like feeding ourselves? So as far as like, when I mean feeding, you're just thinking just the same way in the concept. Do you think we are fueling ourselves with the utmost correct strategies to push ourselves in many different ways as far as our mental? Like, do you actually feel like our mental is being preserved, conserved, protected? Is it being fed the proper energy and nutrients to continue to keep going through the things that we go through in this world?
Honestly, if I had to, say this, not all the time.
Yeah.
Really, you know what I'm saying? Not all the time, because you still have like people in this world. They're mentally unstable. They don't feed themselves the correct way mentally. Like, you could work out like, a bunch of times, and like it could affect your mental, like, like your mental health as well, because like even though like, I know a lot of people who like, they're rich people and like they're wealthy and they're like, oh, money doesn't solve everything in the world, because I'm still depressed, like what do I do here?
Right.
So I don't think not everything that we do and learn helps us mentally, really.
Yeah. Okay. And if I was to ask you if you're comfortable enough to share, so just to humanize this, because I'm not here to sit here and speak as if I have the utmost knowledge about everything. I'm just here to, again, send that message of awareness around these things that we do not spread awareness enough about in this world. Knowing that we are human, we still try to humanize things, but our way of humanizing is dehumanizing ourselves by making everyone that's out here spreading false narratives idols, and they're not leading our youth or leading ourselves as humankind in the correct direction as far as what we should stand for in our morals and values. And mental health should be something you stand for. Like, that should be something that you honestly do not play around with, because that mental health is your foundation. It's your support. It's just like your brain. Without our brain, we will not be able to function. So if we're not feeding ourselves the proper nutrients or energy as far as like where we should go, when we do feel mentally drained, or what we should do, we should also think about those things, because they're important. And who we be around when there are times of you in need of some type of support. Who do you go to? Those things are just very important, I feel like, and I just want to continue to spread the awareness around those things, because not everyone are actually truly there to support you, or not everyone are going to give you the best advice, or some people will give you literally their personal advice. And everyone, when you come to someone for advice, I tend to understand that it's personal. It's not something from the heart, it's personal. It's what they feel is best for you. And it's never how you feel is best for you, because you're going to someone and asking for, some type of answer, when everyone doesn't have the answer. We're all still in that learning, ability right now. We're still learning as we go. Even when we're elderly, we're still, we gain wisdom as we go, but we're still learning. We're humankind. So we will never ever have the exact answer. We will probably have the sources or the resources or the tools to lead you that way, but we will never have the exact answer. Truly. Because even when you do give someone that answer, it's still up to them to figure out how to navigate around that situation. You can give someone everything in this world, but if we was to have everything, the question is, what do I do with this? Especially if you never came across those things. So now, to tie it back to mental health, we go through the things that we go through, and we feel like it's okay. And I say we because we as humans normalize being in depression states. We normalize those things because we say if we work hard right now, we will be successful later on down the road. And that is very draining. That's a burnout way to think. And I think that really strips us away from our lives that we should be actually living, which is starting now, presently. And I feel like that is very conflicting to the mind and the development as a young person, in general. Like, I just feel like that's very hard to comprehend, because if you're telling someone work hard as a young person, me, myself, my development, I take that as clock in every day. I'm a clock in warrior. You know what I mean? Like, I'm clocking in every day. I'm working 3, 4, 5 jobs. I'm trying different investments. But before trying those investments, I was just working. I wasn't investing anything. And I had to learn, work smarter, not harder. So include yourself in those areas where you know people are doing the utmost things that we don't talk about enough in class or schools today in our lives, which is how to invest. But this is the thing I also learned as far as feeding the mental health. People will tell you one thing, but it's two different things when they tell you something versus when they show you. So when we go through the motions of failure, which everyone goes through, which is another way of, mentally being deprived, because we don't like to fail as humans, and that's okay. I get it. I definitely get it. It's a very competitive world, but and it's also a systematic world and a programming thing as well, which I'm gonna go back to later on. But truly, it's conflicting with the way we think in our development. Just going back to that again, and I really just feel like you really have to again understand the support around that area when you are failing. And you really have to also understand yourself, who you are as a person. And that takes time. And again, you won't ever be 100%. And I'm going to go back to that as well. But I'm just picking different things so it can lead up together, just so you guys know. And hopefully you can pick up on that as you analyze and understand what's being exactly said. But truly, when you're going through a emotion of failure, how do you feel? I'm going to start like that. How do anybody feel when you're going through emotion of failure?
Honestly, when you're going through failure, at first it doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I experienced it, throughout my, like my life and stuff like that.
Right.
But, it doesn't feel good. Like, when I was cut from basketball, that was,
Yeah.
I felt like it was a failure because I worked hard that entire summer.
Mm-hmm.
But who was there for me was the support of my parents. Because
Yeah.
they always told me that, hey, if you really want it, keep going and keep going.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then you'll find something else. And it's like the way they always told me that, like, not everything is going to work out.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to, find something else. But failure, it's not a good thing, but it shapes you to really go out, be motivated, and do better. And some people, they take failure in, like, two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they take it, one person takes failure as motivation, and one takes it as letting it
It's
get
no
to
in
them
between.
and being depressed.
Yep. I agree with you. I definitely can agree and add a little bit of my own opinion as well. And I just feel like exactly what you just said is very, very true. That it's only a one or the other. There's never any in between. The ones I feel that go in between usually fall on that rabbit hole of the side of they're unmotivated and deprived and depressed. It's no in between, like with this situation of failure. And truly, I feel like exactly what you said. It shapes you, and it also shows you different solutions to the problem, different ways you can attack or approach what you have gone through. And I really think it really just opens your mind. You become open-minded of how to, navigate during different situations of, challenges and difficulties in our lives, and who to deal with, how to deal with people in general is very important. So when you go through those challenges and then you realize, I just failed, but you also realize who are around you when you fail and how do you go about that, you then tend to realize, what's for you and what's not. And it's just like a life lesson situation. You learn lessons every single day, which is very human. And it's very important to learn from something that you overcome, or even don't overcome, but go through. You got to go through the motions to overcome them as well. So people don't understand that. They just think like we all are easily able to just bounce back like we're robots. Do not get confused by the perceptions of others. Again, be mindful of who you are perceiving, what you are perceiving, and how it's being perceived and said. Intentions. Understanding the intentions behind everything, something is, that's going on around you, or whatever you're reading, hearing, listening to, seeing. Understand the intention of it first. That is why I started off with this podcast by explaining myself and being open and vulnerable about why I'm taking my time on my day simply to speak into a video camera and it eventually be posted on the social media, because this is simply something that is not spread awareness of enough. And in this world of so much trauma and built up confliction in history and systematic ways and programming, that we tend to try to throw a cover over and throw a little dirt over every time something happens in this world of USA or America, however you want to put it, in our government. It causes more and more confliction. It causes more and more traumatic experiences and depression and deprived and so many other things that they try to isolate. And there's so many people that are getting impacted by this that we do not speak about. But instead of telling people this is who it's affecting, I really want to humanize the fact of it's affecting all of us, not just one person, because that's dehumanizing somebody as if they're a god or an idol. Everyone's getting affected. There's no God on this earth. There's only one up almighty, and that's who I believe in, my belief, and everyone else have their own almighty. But at the end of the day, we're not supernatural. We're human. So honestly, in my opinion, again, from my understanding, again, you do not have to, follow this walk or follow whatever I'm saying or this belief. I truly just believe that simply goes back to mental health. The things that we go through, starts with the family, home. Of course, that's the base of it. That's the seed of everything. It starts with the family, because you were birthed by your mother. So then your mother, nurtures you. You understand how to be taken care of in a way, as you learn and grow and go on and on and on and on. You pick up those traits from your family. Some of them are bad habits. Some of them are I'm a reword that. Some of them are unhealthy habits, and I took that and changed that word, because simply bad in my eyes can also be good. And good can also be bad. It's different ways to view different visions and lives and perceptions. And again, I have my own, but we can go into that in a different day, a different time and topic. But getting back on topic to what I am saying of unhealthy, I just feel like it's not something the soul will understand immediately. It's just going to take time to develop. And we usually all start unhealthy before we become healthy. And that's just how we develop, truly. We all go through the unhealthy things of life, and truly, it always shapes you, like you said. So, yeah, I think that's very important, because we try to cover up our mental health so much with the busy life and trying to be so productive and trying to get people to understand your story. And we try so hard to get people to understand our story. They would never truly want to understand it, because we're trying absolutely hard to take the stage, but we got to understand what comes with that stage. What audience do you want when you're on that stage? How do you want the lights to be presented on you when you say different things? Do you want somebody to clap after saying you done been through some trauma? Or do you want somebody to give you a hug? Do you want to have a huge mic, or do you want to have a single mic so then it could evolve around the whole room and bounce off the walls? Do you want one mic to where the mic just, blurs out a little bit and it doesn't understand what you're saying? Do you want somebody to understand what you're saying? Do you want the utmost support while you're saying it? You know what I mean? Who do you want in the front row when you say it? Like, we don't think about these things overall, and it's very important. And I'm not speaking metaphorically. I'm saying, who do you want around you as you grow as a person? Not even just mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, as you grow and develop. Truly, who do you want around you? Who are you first? Before you walk on the stage and before you present yourself in your story, you need to understand who you are as a person. Therefore, nothing, anything, simply small, little, big, or even bigger, will be able to break the spirit that you have built and practiced for years, because it has been a practicing moment for this moment on the stage. And that's what any idol or actor that we idolize a lot. They practice these things that's on the stage. So usually when they come across these things, it's like, okay, I've been there, you know? So that's just the development of the skills that we learn. We already all have those skills. It's just how we develop them. And I wouldn't speak for everybody that goes on stage, because not everybody have that, you know, that kind of character or trait built up, just, you know, structured enough to get through those kinds of outcomes, but or impacts. But I feel like that is a way of preparation. As far as like mental health, you should mentally prepare yourself for the things that are upcoming. And that is up to you to figure out what you should prepare yourself for and how you should prepare yourself for. I will not sit here and tell anyone what to do and how to do it. If you are willing to know more, honestly, you can reach out to me, and that can be disclosed in many different ways. We'll figure it out eventually. Or another way you can do is literally simply just watch and listen. Watch and listen, comment, you know, be active in what is being said as far as like the things that we are approaching or the things that we are spreading awareness about. Everyone has a voice, a word. If you have something to say, whether it's good, bad, or however you feel it is, that is your opinion, that is your perspective. I do not misperceive. I do not miscomprehend. I'm going to comprehend what you're saying. And I'm going to get to the bottom of what you're trying to say, because I'm being intentional. So when you say something, make sure you be intentional with whatever you are saying. And take time to understand what you are saying first before you are saying it. Because simply we live in a world where there are many people out here that are extremely sensitive, not knowing that this could be our last day on earth and you want to be sensitive. That's just how I perceive life. This is not the time to be sensitive. This is the time to understand that everyone in this world will not get along. Okay, cool. That's just like if you were to have an essay and we were to all write about one thing, we all won't write it the same way. It's going to be different. So we have to understand that. We have to come to an understanding of how to comprehend each other's emotions, because we're all human, but we all have different emotions at different times. There's no set time for everybody to be like, everyone's angry. We're not aliens, robots, you know what I mean? We're not none of those things. We're not supernatural. We are humankind. So there's not no off and on switch. We're not robots. So understand that, truly. But I really just want to really like just sum up, you know, this mental health awareness situation. And I just want to, you know, just finish off with a strong note of understand who you are, gain some clarity. Clarity is very important. Ask questions. You know, I'll say that for me, my experience of gaining who I am and loving myself truly and breaking barriers mentally, physically, emotionally, from traumatic experiences, from my own experiences, by my own choices, all of those things all in one. I feel like I took a lesson out of everything that happened, and it helped me evolve and again shaped me. But I feel as if mental health is built upon, of course, I feel like it's your belief, disciplined. And I say disciplined because we tend to, and we all done this, we'll make a mistake, we'll say, I'm sorry, but then we'll do it again. So it's how to discipline yourself from that mistake. What can you do to discipline yourself from the mistake that you made? Therefore, you won't continue to make the mistake. Because as we continue to set ourselves backward and backward and backward and backward, we're making more room for improvement for sure, but we're also leaving a lot of space that we could have already filled as far as opportunities. And it's never too late. It's never too late. So I wouldn't say look at it as you're missing out, because fear of missing out is very common as well. And again, it takes time to go through those emotions, but it takes experience too. You have to actually experience those. And what I mean by that is I'm more of a hands-on kind of person. If someone tells me something or I learn something, it's not going to stick much unless I'm hands-on with it or I face it myself. And then I could come back and gain guidance from that, or a way of some type of, I wouldn't even say closure, because that's where I used to go wrong. I used to gain closure a lot. You know, mentally I wanted closure of, you know, what I was doing and my choices. And again, you have to understand, you have to literally be comfortable with yourself. You have to love and cherish yourself more than anyone loves and cherishes you, honestly. And that's where it starts mentally. That is something that is very empowering, not even just to you, but other people will see it and sense it. It's contagious. Empower yourself, you know, learn, you know, be knowledgeable, open a book, do anything that you feel is very, be productive. And morals and values match up with your mental health as well. Because we're feeding into things that we know don't match up to what we truly have aligned, you know, for ourselves. It throws off a balance of our development. And it's just going to take a little bit more time to develop, which is fine. You know, we all going to take different roads and different routes to get there. And it's no rush. But understand, the time that you use to be productive, you have to also ask yourself, is it being busy or is it being productive? Because just being busy is not really matching up to your values or morals. That's just you simply feeling as if you have to adapt to this world of the American way, or being successful and making a name for yourself, which is idolized too much, and it's dehumanizing us and not humanizing us, because we're not robots, and we're gonna fail at things plenty of times, and it's just about how you get back up. But truly, yeah, I just want to wrap that up with the mental health. It's very deep. I'm gonna continue to dive into it as much as possible. But if anyone has any more like selections on what we should upbring or talk about, or if anyone wants to join, I feel like we could also have collabs eventually. But right now I'm more of in protecting my space and energy and the words that I'm selecting, because then I will go back and review everything that I am saying, because it is very important for me to learn and to listen from you guys as well too. So if I'm saying anything in a way you feel is perceived wrong, speak up. Everyone has a voice. I do not want anyone to sit in a room with me and hold their tongue. If you are doing that, that means you are not allowed in that room. Or I wouldn't say you're not allowed in that room. That just feels more, you're excluding everybody's voice. And I don't want to be that person. I'm definitely opening up the room. So yeah, if you have anything else to add, I will definitely, you know, build off of it, but I'm listening. I'm here.
Yeah, but with mental health though, I feel like I look at it as like the strongest type of health that the human body has, because especially about like what everything the human people have to go through like today, like financially and stuff like that. You know, it's definitely, it takes a toll on your mental health, because like, you know, like you look at gas prices are high, and it's like everyone's stressed out. They're trying to make change, and you know, it's
to
like
get by.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like you say, like, hey, use your voice, and like you don't have to be afraid to use your voice if like something is wrong, something is right. Use your voice. And
so mental health is one of those things where I learned as well. Again, you cannot speak from others' experience. You have to literally sit and listen. Sometimes comfort is fine. You don't have to say much. You listen, observe, and you ask for permission to add on if you want to, however you want to put it. You know, give advice. That's just all permissions that you ask when you are going through those things, because it's like just like consent. You know, a lot of people, I feel like they don't use consent as much as we try to push consent. It's nothing consensual going on in this world. It's more of people are forcibly taking things or forcibly making a decision on what they want based on the feeling of it. And that's with anything. That's not even just speaking sexual. I just feel like that's more of a mental, you know, thing that we try to push, which is kind of programming. We try to program our humans, ourselves, to be this way, but then other people feel like they're just idolized and above, I'll say, hierarchy. And that's kind of like dehumanizing, because it's basically saying, well, you guys are over here, you guys, you know, don't know much, I can teach you. But that's blind leading the blind, because you have a God, quote, quote, which is very, you know, disrespectful in my eyes, saying, you humans shall follow me and abide by the laws and everything, the rules that was created for you in order to get by in life. And if we were all to sit here and follow rules every single day, do you honestly think life would be fun?
It wouldn't be fun.
Sometimes that risk is crucial to our lives because it teaches us. It's a life lesson. So there's no right or wrong in how you shall live. There's no right and wrong on how you shall think. It just needs to be developed. You have to find ways to develop these traits, these skills, these habits, instead of feeding ourselves with unhealthy natures of this life. But that's really it for that. I just want to finalize mental health. I mean, that's really it. It could get deeper than that, but I'm not here to trauma dump. It's not that. It's not really that. It's just me expressing that you can do it. It's possible. That's the message. But I am spreading awareness of the things that we are blind to, which other people are not going to admit that they're doing. But it's happening every day. And this is just a time, again, that we need to be aware and woke and able to discern and be aware of the things that's truly happening and being covered up. Other than that, we will be led blind and astray and down the rabbit hole with the rest of those who they feel like are not knowledgeable enough. And we're going to leave it just like that. Number 2.
Let's go on to the next one, you guys.
Yeah, number 2. 100% theory. Before we begin with that, I just want to include you too because you're here. What do you think the 100% theory is? Like from your perspective, this is not from anything that we talked about before this setting this up, because I know we spoke briefly about it before we talked about this, so we can go into it not blind but aware of what we're saying, and intentional with what we're saying. But truly, what do you feel it is?
I feel like it's just in my perspective. I feel like it's the giving of your all, basically giving everything 100%,
Yeah.
everything that you do.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it means.
Okay. I think it's the same thing for sure. I agree. I just want to add a little bit more though. I just feel like for me, when I hear 100% theory, which is I don't know if anyone ever heard that, but that's more of so, if not, then that's just something I, was able to articulate and comprehend a little bit and put in my own words. But again, like you said, we burn ourselves out and we tend to always say, well, I need time. Well, I'm healing. Well, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to get there. Honestly, we're not going to be 100% ever in life. We're not going to reach that 100% moment to where we have full autonomy, to where, again, autonomy, control, knowledge, when we have everything, I'll say everything, it's 100%. We're not going to ever have everything. There's so many things out here in this world, rather materials, knowledge, tools, documents, research, animal. It's so much in this world to the point where it's unbelievable. It's like infinity. It's infinity. You will never have everything. And that's why people like to try different things. And it goes different ways and different routes. Some things are not meant to be tried, but that's from whoever experienced whatever they like or dislike. But truly, again, we will never ever reach full total autonomy. As our minds and our brains and our development, we cannot control it all. We simply do not have enough discernment, awareness, knowledge to control it all. And that's just the truth. That's like one person controlling the whole entire world as far as humankind. That's unbelievable.
No, I really.
That's how we all need each other. If we didn't need each other, there wouldn't be separate governments. There wouldn't be separate rules and regulations in different states and countries. You get what I mean? So it's it's
100%.
different. We wouldn't have senates. We wouldn't have any of those things. Mayors. We wouldn't have any of those things. Judicial systems, legislative systems. We didn't have any of those things if we only needed one person. That means we need actual community. We need each other. But people, again, dehumanize that saying of needing each other, and they humanize being independent and having everything to themselves, selfishness, saying they don't have enough. You will never have enough. You will never have enough. You can never have enough of anything. You can literally have unlimited everything in this world if you kept living on years and years and years and kept buying different things. There's different things and new things every day and being released every day, every single day. Whether it's AI, whether it's cars, whether it's phones being created now or back then, or it's things that's already been created, they just didn't show or drop yet because it's not safe enough. It's already things that's already in place and set for us, but we do not see them because we are blind and unaware of them. So we do not have enough discernment. So if we don't have enough discernment about the simple littlest things that's in this earth, which is development of technology, how do you ever think we can all govern, one person can all govern everybody in this world? It's impossible. It's something that we will never have control of. And we have to understand that things in life will not always be in our control because we do not have full autonomy. We don't have control of everything. And when I mean control, I look at autonomy as another way of knowledge because knowledge is power. And without power, you don't have control. Without knowledge, you don't have control. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have knowledge of what to do with that money, whether it's good or bad from the devil himself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we talk about
If you do not know what to do with that, you're nobody. You're literally nobody. People are going to look at you like a fool, literally. And they sometimes, like, people literally will plot the negative things on you and try to take what you have because they see that you're just a dummy, literally a walking dummy, and it's blind. And that's why we have to have awareness and discernment in our lives. And that's why I am spreading this awareness constantly throughout this podcast with my brother, because it's truly important for people to understand how crucial this is in this life that we live every day. And instead of just walking over it or avoiding it and pushing ourselves away from this concept, we're just going to push it towards you. We're going to give it towards you as much as we can. We're going to post it. This is what I'm going to idolize. Things like this, the real one-on-one intimate communication, whether it's through a phone, it's through a mirror, it's through anything. That's communication to myself. It's letting myself know, and it's discerning me and keeping me aware of my surroundings, of the things that I may go through, how I may go through my flow state in life of ups and downs. We all go through it. How do I maintain that? How do I handle that? How do I cherish and steward what do I have now? But anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, and we talked about this too a couple months ago. We made a video called "Knowledge is Power."
Yeah.
Go check that out. A couple months ago when we did that, I really do believe that as well.
Yeah.
I do believe knowledge is power, and you can have stacks of money all over the place, but if you're not knowledgeable, then what are you exactly? You're just gonna.
And I can I can share
anyway.
a quick experience as well. Just quick and brief. And again, this is not a bragging situation. This is more of a learning situation. I made $5,000 a while back. When I go back and look what I spent it on, and I talk about morals and values, now don't get me wrong, I'm more knowledgeable what to do now at this moment and discerned enough. And I'm thankful for that. But when I go back and think how I push this narrative of having this set moral or this value, I broke every last one of them. I broke a whole barrier that I didn't think I would break, but it took a lot for me to break it because I was so stuck and entrapped in this 100% life of having everything. And I'm gonna be explicit and honest. And when I spent that on after I, gained that money, jewelry, clothes, shoes, women, cars, fun.
Pretty much anything in the world.
Anything that don't mean much.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying women don't mean anything, because women are very nurturing and they're very needed in this world.
100%.
But as far as my morals and my values, you do not put anybody before that or anything before that. You must be discerned and aware of what's your morals and values. Who are you before you even lay down with a woman? Who are you before you lay down with a man? Who are you before you buy any materialistic thing? Because it's not, again, I used to tell people, because they be like, yo, you got flavor, you know how to dress. And I be telling them like, bro, I'm going to keep it a bug with you. I shop at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I shop at Walmart. But don't get misperceived just because I said that. Please don't take that in any intellectual different way that you're thinking. But if you do, that's you. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I promise you, every day that I wake up, I dress like it's my last. Unless I'm going to the gym. And even if I'm not going out and I'm sure I'm dressing up to go to the gym, I still walk with that confidence. Because it's never about the clothes that you wear on your damn back, or the shoes that you put on, or the jewelry that you wear, or the earrings, or any of that stuff that we see every day that we can just throw on and take off. That means it's replaceable. I broke a watch in class the other day, literally, like math class started, and not to get off task, I'm gonna always come back to it, understand, but I broke a watch walking into class, literally.
Yeah.
And I left class, went to go get my other watch, and came back. Replaceable. Everything's recyclable. Recyclable. The stuff that we touch, the stuff that we see, that we want so bad, it's definitely around us everywhere we go, and it's definitely accessible. It's not going nowhere. But when I came across that, and I really sat down and I'll say, become aware of the placement of the funding of where and what I was doing and where it was going. It was just like, I truly became a little disappointed, because it's like you broke the barriers and the values that you upspoke a lot and try to share with other people, but it wasn't something you were following. So it's like now you have to take a step back and understand you can't tell someone something if you're not following it, and you actually have to believe in it. And it's not going to be easy, because we have to understand, again, when we go back to the disciplinary part of it, of how do we keep ourselves from doing what we don't want to do, because we know it may cause a dysfunction, or it may result in a halt of the decisions that you actually truly want to make, and the life that you want to live, in the process of it, the development. It will alter. And you will go through a lot of changes, for sure. But how to navigate during that time is very, very crucial, because I've seen it plenty of times. I can't count on my hands, honestly, because I've done it myself, of when I pushed this narrative, but I wasn't living by this narrative. I was pulling this narrative from other people and from what I was seeing, and my development was so improper, and I was not becoming aware of those things, because I was living those things, and I was blind to how they were actually truly impacting not just myself, but others around me. And it just caused me to just be like, oh, well, I'm just ignorant at the moment, and I'm just blind, and I'm young, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just living my life. But I'm out here pushing a narrative, telling people to do this, but behind that narrative, I'm doing something totally opposite. Now today, again, I am thankful and blessed enough to have enough to discernment, to have that awareness. And again, I'm just willing to spread that awareness across the world if possible, but starting in my community first, because that is where I see we lack the most. Where I came from is very crucial to me right now. Everywhere else has its own different perks and regulations, and might have its own person that's already spreading some type of awareness, even if it's not being discerned from them, or them leading. It could be a lot of misleading and misguiding. It doesn't matter. That's their perception. That's what they want to do for their community. Me, myself, and I would rather want to spread awareness in my community first before I try to do intercultural things and just simply dive deeper into the society world, because as you dive deeper, it gets deep into politics, truly, because it goes back to systematic ways, and kind of what we're going to get into today, but I'm not going to dive too much into systematic ways and systems. That's going to be led towards another podcast, but it's programming our humanity as we lead into that part. And it's very crucial that we understand what that means, which we're going to wrap up this now. I mean, if you have any other questions about what we're talking about, I'm definitely sitting here. I'm willing to listen and be discerning of what is being said.
Being everything with like 100%, yeah, it's definitely. I feel like you hear a lot of people say that nowadays. Like, I'm gonna give this 100%, 110% type stuff, and it's like they don't really, they have a hard time achieving it. And also, everything like what you said before with like money and like spending and like stuff like that. And like the disciplinary part of it, it's and I ain't gonna lie, I deal with this to this day as I'm talking to you guys, that I have a hard time telling people no or telling myself no, because like it's like a temptation that a lot of people deal with, because like temptation, I always look at temptation, that's the devil talking to you, saying like, and God he's just trying to be straight up with you, like, hey, you shouldn't do this because you're smarter than that.
Yeah.
God knows how smart you are, but you choose to go through temptation because it's just very strong, and you don't, and like, and you just let it affect you. So at the end of the day, you gotta be able to discipline yourself way better. That's where like your health awareness comes from as well, and your temptation, because you don't want to fall victim to that.
Yeah. And that was powerful, man. Thank you for sharing that, honestly. As you were saying that, I was just observing a couple notes, but as we wrap that up about being 100%, I just feel like we said more than enough for people to understand, truly, to understand who you are first. And understand, again, you won't ever reach 100%. So the excuse of, I'm not ready yet, or it's not time, that's truly an excuse, because you have to think about it. When will there ever be time? When? We don't know, because we do not have full autonomy. We don't know, and we won't know. It starts today. So if you want that change, if you want to heal, if you want to properly transform or transmit into things that you know are towards your morals and values, it starts today. Promise for the next day, it's not. It's no promise. No one's going to sit there and make you a promise that you're going to live the next day. I don't know anyone that has done that. And for someone to sit there and do that, I mean, that's kind of strange if they did, because no one has that autonomy to tell you if you're going to live or die. That's going to be up to you. That's your decision at the end of the day, of who you be around, what you hang around, how do you invest your time, your morals, your values do all align. All those things are very important, and we also have to always take those in accountability of ourselves and our decisions, because we tend to always point finger and blame one another. But when it comes to our own true selves, it's hard for us to develop from what we experience, because we feel like we never done anything wrong to anyone for us to be in those situations that we are in. But I can count plenty of times when I felt that way, but truly I had to actually discern and be aware of them. And I actually done things to actually push people to that edge or to that limit as well. So it's like coming to an agreement or an understanding of where I am now is very crucial. And I am blessed to be this empowered, inspired, motivational, well-rounded, handsome, of course. But
I mean, we both are.
For sure. For sure. They're definitely blessings, and you're a gift, bro. We're definitely a gift. And for us to be doing this now, taking our time out of our day, which I have other things to do as well, is it's just that important to me. That's more than enough intention right there, without me saying anything else. And it's not me being performative, because in person, people will also feel this energy. I'm not going to let up what I am saying because of someone else's perceptions. I don't care about perceptions, because at the end of the day, no one perception is going to perceive what I am going through or where I am going, and I don't have a destination. I want to go everywhere. I want to do everything, Yeah. I'm not trying to sit down. I'm young. I'm well-rounded. I have knowledge, enough knowledge to empower my teens, empower the young, the youth. It's crucial to me. It's very important for me to be intentional with everything I do and I say, because I've been there. And that's not me trying to relate to anybody. That's just me saying, truly, deep down, I know my inner child is thriving right now. He's happy and proud of myself, because my inner child, when I was a child, which I'm still very, very young, but when I was truly a child in a claim of innocence, I felt like a lot was stripped away from my life, my childhood. And I faced a lot of trauma, and I didn't have to deal with it then, but I'm dealing with it now. And I might think I didn't have to deal with it then, but I was going through a lot of crisis. You're going through, it's just a lot of crisis because your brain is not developed enough to understand and comprehend the things that you're going through. So you react when you're younger through actions and not words because you're not bold enough to just say it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
you're
facts.
not.
That's facts.
You're not. Unless you are put in predicaments to where it comes out. So someone must have tempted you to say it. Or you said it out of anger. Or upsetness. Or sadness. Emotion is what brings out the true you. People don't understand that. You will never understand who somebody really is until you are around them when they're emotional. And I tell people that all the time. I don't want any friends unless I see the true you. I want to see when you're upset, when you're crying. I want to see everything. Everything. But most of all, I know I like to be around people when they thriving, but I don't like being around people more than when they're actually going through something. I like to be there for people when they're actually going through something the most because it shows you the true them. And it can be very disturbing to your peace and energy for sure. But if that is your true friend and if that's your true relationship or anything that you're going through, it will be up to you to understand what is for you and not for you. Being discerned again and spreading that awareness. But my advice, if you have never seen the emotional side of any of your friends or any relationship that you are in right now and it seems too perfect, that's up to you to figure out what to do with that, truly. But me personally, I can't be friends. And I will decide not to have that relationship with that person. Because if it's not going to happen then, when is it going to happen? If it's not going to happen now, when is it going to happen? That means it's going to happen soon. Maybe even sooner than you thought. But you're going to be left in the dark about it because every day we live is different. So before I claim someone is my friend again, before I claim title, giving someone the title that they're in a relationship with me or married or anything like that, I must, it's literally a must for me. I have to see the emotional state of mind, emotional state of you when you are in that state of mind. Literally, it's no other way I would want it. Because again, that will truly show you who someone is when they go through the things that they go through and how they treat people. Who do they go to? You know? What do they say? How do they say it? What are their actions and their reactions? It really is important to pay attention to those things because we are so misled by the stereotypical things, the stigmas, and that's what we go off now. We go off that. And people don't be discerned enough to understand that is an entrapment. You know, that's not love. That's toxic.
Toxicity.
That's not love. You know, and so it's very important to understand the difference between the two. And that is a way for me to understand. I have to see what I'm dealing with. I have to really come across what I'm dealing with. I don't want to just be buddy all the time and see you when you up. Yes, I said that. I don't want to always just see you when you up. I also want to see you when you are hurting, deprived, depressed, you know, because as a real friend, I'm near. So I want to see how you respond for when somebody is there for you. Because that determines the trauma that you've been through. That also determines what you have been through. It leads to so many different things. And that's part of being discerned and understanding the reactions is the actions. You know, it's the actions. And you have to learn how to read those actions, read those words, read the room, you know. And don't stress yourself out about reading it. It's going to show to you. It will show to you. It will intentionally show to you without them being like trying too hard. It's going to show. So just pay mindfulness attention to those things. Because we're all human beings, so we're always going to make a mistake. Regardless of how perfectionist we try to be, we always slip up with something, and people notice everything. If you are not noticing them, please become aware sooner than later. If I would, say now. But as we wrap that up, I just want to get to the last part, programming humanity. Before we start with this, Any thoughts on anything or what I just said, programming immunity? Yeah.
It definitely sounds like, like I heard about like what you said before, like humans aren't robots type
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like with everything that's going on around the world, I feel like people can just feel like that they're programming us to like, make us like turn into a different way.
Test
when we're
dummies.
not, basically.
Test
Yeah,
dummies.
like test people. Yeah, I agree with that.
You give tools and resources to different people and see which ones last. I look at that like as survival mode, and we always do things to try to get by instead of focus on longevity, and understanding, again, you are human. So humanizing the things that people are dehumanizing in this world today. Again, if someone's to say, I'm not human, I need you to clock in and don't clock out. You're dehumanizing me. So what do you think I am? You know what I mean? Am I a robot to you? Am I a slave to you? Do I have to do what you say? And I call that enslavement mentality. People say this all the time. And I know for those who are in youth understand this word of selection. You are not above the program. I'm going to keep it 1,000 transparent and intentional. Would you rather be above the program or be in the program? You really have to sit there and think about that too. Because if you are in the program, it's a lot of control and power. It's a lot of resources and tools, informational things. Above the program, people look at that as hierarchy. And that's why I don't like using above the program. I don't see myself above the program. I see myself within the program, but with enough knowledge to move forward from the program. That's how I look at it, in the most humblest way to put it. I don't see myself entrapped in a place of corporate for years working, as if I have no other morals and goals to live, no aspirations. You know what I mean? As if I have no other hobbies or family or things that I want to do to achieve or just simply just explore and travel and do in my life. I'm not going to continue to be that robot because I am human. I'm going to need a break. I'm going to need time to myself. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to need these things. They're crucial and important to your health, your mental health, before you have that mental breakdown. So, again, that's how I will put that. For anyone who ever says you think you're above the program, you must have that confidence in yourself that you can do that and more. Not just do that and end at that. Don't settle for what you get. You take what you get and you expand. You expand. That's like if you was to get a job and you working at McDonald's and it's your first job. You gonna keep working at McDonald's or you gonna find another job? You gonna go pick up a trade? You gonna go to college? You gonna finish high school? You gonna apply to other jobs through what? References? Are you gonna try? You know what I mean? Don't settle for what you get. Take what you get and invest and expand. That's the goal. That's it. That's literally it. That's how I see and view life. My life, though. Everyone has a different aspiration or a different kind of conception and comprehension of their lives. So again, I will never take a voice from those who feel like it's being targeted or stripped from them, or I will never belittle anyone. What I am saying is you need to understand yourself, your morals, and your values once again. Because at the end of the day, they will be tested. And if people see you do not stand for nothing, you will receive nothing. Literally. You will be nothing. And I'm not trying to bring you down, but truly, you will be nothing if you're standing for nothing. If you standing waiting for nothing to happen, what do you expect to happen? Nothing will happen. This is not a miracle life. You're not a magician. You're going to be standing there waiting until the day you... Right. Exactly. This is not the magic school bus. This is not fictional storytelling. This is real life things. This is realistic, IRL. We're going through these motions and emotions. We're going through these trials and triumphs. We're doing this. We're here. We're on the earth. We're human. We're not robots. We don't leak oil when we bleed. We bleed blood and die if we bleed out too much. If a robot bleeds oil, he doesn't die. He's just temporarily in dysfunction. But guess what? They can fill that oil back up. Once you die, you can't fill your blood back up. It's over. It's over. So understand, we need to be who we truly are. And we need to understand who we truly are. But first, you need to understand you are humankind and you have emotions and you deserve those emotions. Everyone deserves the emotions that they have because we have emotions. We all go through those emotions. So why would you sit there and be like, I don't deserve these emotions? You're human. You don't take those emotions as a weapon against yourself. You form and develop the weapon meant to be formed against you. And you turn it and it's prosperous. It's development. It's truthful. You see clarity. You know what I mean? And it's contagious because other people feed off of it. And they notice it. Some people get a little bit intimidated by it. Some people get afraid of it. Some people don't understand it. It's just a lot of comprehension, truly. And it's a lot to maintain. But it's important to maintain and cherish the moments that are like forming now. The process of it now. Now at this moment in this second is very important. Because again, tomorrow is not promised. So the most promises that you have is now. Because you are alive right now. But that is truly how I seek and how I see different things as far as my vision. I know it's very strong for my age, and I'm speaking well beyond my years, and I'm still learning and yearning. I'm still reaching and seeking and asking, regardless of me knowing this, I'm still asking of pieces of knowledge, not all of the knowledge, pieces. I don't want to read the whole book. I want to comprehend the book piece by piece. That's why you are giving chapters and sentences. You're not given the whole book to be told to read everything. It's not going to, because then when you read everything, think about it. It's going to take even longer than what you read to comprehend the whole damn thing. That's why it's comprehend after you read. Take notes, highlight. Understand, break down what you're doing and what you're reading. That's just how I view life. It's the same way as ELA English. It's the same way as math solutions and problems. You can add, subtract, multiply, divide to get to whatever number you're trying to get. That means there's different routes and different algorithms, logarithms that you can take. And it's very crucial to understand all of them not going to equal what you want. So then what algorithm, logarithm, addition, subtraction, division, all those things, what are you going to take next? Multiplication to get to those things that you know you're trying to reach. Even if it's not exactly what you want, it still must align with your morals and your values. Again, it's all up to you and who you are. You must understand who you are. And that's simply it. You know, I spoke a lot. I spoke from the heart. It's true. It's pure. It's honest. It's brief, raw, uncut. I'm not giving you no fake belief, make-believe situations. Whatever you believe, that's what you believe. Everybody believe different things. I didn't ask you to believe what I believe. That's the thing. I didn't ask you to have the vision I have because that vision was given to me. That belief was given to me. It was a gift. Something I asked for, but it was a gift. And I had to work for it too as I got it and maintain it. So again, my perception is not everybody's. So again, it's take it or leave it, listen or not. It's on the table. Regardless of anything, it's still going to be there. Regardless of how anybody feel or what they perceive or think. Your belief is your belief. Take your belief and develop around it within the morals and values of yourself. You are great. I hope and I wish everybody prosper that's watching this. You, yourself, and I, including family, friends. It will not be easy, but it will be possible. In some way, shape, or form, it will shape you. Embrace the transformation. Understand, it's better now than later. So it's not better to work extremely hard now and wait for later. It's better to embrace the work that you are doing now and pray for later. Pray for a later time. Pray that you have time. Pray that time is made for the time when it comes. You know, it's just a hope, a faith kind of situation. I don't know I'm going to be here. I would never say I know because anything can happen. But while I'm here, you're going to know. Everybody around me is gonna know, gonna feel the wrath, the realness. Everybody's gonna know. But I thank you again for having me here on this podcast. It's a blessing. It's truly. I know I had a lot to get to, but I still wanted to share my intention with this screen, with you, with the people. I know it's just more people behind it. It's just like right now, it's just a screen. But yeah, this is just the truth. Honestly, I'm not gonna really hold much back. And one thing just to wrap this up too, that I learned from my experience is that we always want the truth, but then when we receive the truth is something we simply cannot handle, so we go and tell one another. So we want the truth. We want to know what's going to happen. But if we was to know what was going to happen, it will break you. You will not want to stand against it. You will not want to stand for it. You will run, you will avoid, you will hide. Therefore, there's no such thing as absolute truth, because if you was given the absolute truth, your brain, our development as humankind, again, we humanizing this right now, will not be able to understand and comprehend what is going to happen next, because we're so stuck on the truthfulness of it. It's so painful. It's so hurtful. It digs deep. You feel like you've broken your morals and your values and what you stand for as a person, as a woman, as a man. It feels worthless. You feel worthless. It breaks you. It disowns you. It's dishonorable. We go to ego, pride, broken, emotions, deprived, depressed, hurt. So understand, when you receive the truth, really cherish it. It is rare. It will be raw and uncut, and it's for you to be aware of it and comprehend what is actually being said. But if we was to receive the truth every single day, we wouldn't be able to discern what is the lies. We wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a lie and the truth, which was still hard today. So if it was all truthful, we wouldn't ever think anybody would lie to us if there was no liars. So we all teach each other. The liars teach those who tell the truth. And the ones that tell the truth teach the liars. Simple as that. That's just how we go in this world. Simple.
Simple as that.
So take that, discern what I'm saying, which is being aware, understand it, be knowledgeable, teach yourself at times, because it's you. It's you. You deserve it. You deserve that utmost knowledge and empowerment in your soul and love for yourself and confidence built upon the stuff that you work for and towards through the time and the effort, through everything, through the emotion you went through, the waves, the currencies, everything that you went through to get to that point. It's a blessing. Cherish it. Maintain it. You did not get this far to get this far. And that's just how I'm going to wrap it up. That's it. Thank you.
Like everything what Calease always says, he always speaks from the heart.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should be able to take that in throughout the video.
For sure.
And it's just, we talked about it a lot today.
Yeah. And
now
after this, I got to go rebuild my social battery. And go work on myself and be productive. Yeah. Simply as every time that I have a meeting or have empowerment talks with people, it's also draining. People have to understand that you have to really be intentional and put actual intention into what you're saying. You placing your soul into someone else's hands, into someone else's life, basically. Because it's that personal, it's deep, it's intimate in a way. Because you're sharing feelings and there's different emotions and tension in that one space. And it can either break the foundation or the community, or it can either build. It's no in between. So you just got to understand how to be intentional and where you are being intentional with what you are saying. And who is it hitting? What is being said? Who is the audience? Who are you speaking to? And that's why I kept saying the youth and empowerment. That's what I want. That's me. That's what I'm saying. That's intention of me targeting the audience of those who are younger. Because that's where the development starts, when you're younger. So, and it doesn't end there, but that's just where it starts the most. And the stigma and stereotypes of our younger men and women is just broken. Broken because of many different things. Broken traditionally, financially, spiritually, systematically. We can go on and on. But do not let that deceive you. You know, do not let that form against you. Empower. But thank you again for having me. It's been an honor, truly, man. This man is going somewhere for sure. Keep doing these podcasts, bro. Stay dedicated as much as you can. And try to be in rooms and spaces to where you can find other ways to develop your knowledge of what you are doing and trying to go for. Because that's the important part. There's no age limit to what you can do. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people hit you with the you too young, you too old, that kind of situation. There's no age limit to what you can do. You could be doing many things is possible at a young age.
I hear that a lot, too.
It's just depending on, again, your morals and values, what that aligns to. You know, it's possible, though. And everything is not, because we done multiple different podcasts in multiple different seasons and for multiple different reasons. You know what I mean? So we could do that. Plus the stuff that you have done, acting, plays, you know, games, journals, all those different things that you are doing, it's possible. It's not easy, but it's possible.
It's possible.
And you already done it.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
I appreciate
you
it.
already done it.
Thank you. Man. I appreciate
For
it.
real. People don't just recognize the stuff that they already done. They just complain about where they at. But look what you done. Your plaques is on the wall. Like, you coming far, my boy. And the first year already done. Year 2.
Year 2 coming up next.
3 years. You have 3 years left. We got to really think about the stuff that's going on. Like, the stuff that we actually accomplishing. You about to be in your internship the next probably semester. You know what I mean? You already done collab with so many different important people on campus. You already collab with different people. So it's like it's already in place. You just got to know where to continue the pace that you are at and how to develop while in the time of still learning. It's just multitasking. So when people say it's not the right time, it's really up to you.
This guy's a blessing to be with, for real. Like,
Thank you, man.
He's my brother right here. So
Yeah.
One of my first friends when I came to this college.
For sure, man.
And that's one of the type of people that you want to have in your friend group. Because
for sure.
he's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, man, again for having me. I don't want the spotlight on me, but you know, I gotta share some type of advice or some type of awareness, and still keep it open, keep it open minded to many people.
You definitely summed it up really great today.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
We have great knowledge. Make sure everyone keep learning.
Yeah.
No matter how old you are, keep learning. And I think that's all we got to say today, right?
Yep.
You got anything else you want to add?
Nah, have a good one.
Nah, have a good one, y'all. Yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Take everything what we said and make sure you affect it to your life. We are spreading awareness.
Yeah.
Calease right here, serving a God. He's here with us. Anyways, y'all, that's all we both got to say.
Yeah.
God loves you guys. Jesus is King. Peace out.